What is up guys and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be making some pseudo legendaries for my Fakemon region Earth Core. So far I've made starters, a Route 1 bird Pokemon, some filler Pokemon, and some regional forms. So today, as I said, I'm gonna make pseudo legendaries. So what are pseudo legendaries? Well, basically they're Pokemon that are very strong. They're not legendaries, but they're strong enough to be legendaries. They usually only have 2 evolutions, but they should also have a Mega Evolution or a Gigantamax form. Some examples are Lucario, Gyarados, and stuff like that. So for the themes, I want it to be based on a gorilla, dead plants, and a skull mask. So yeah. First, I drew a quick sketch on paper, and then after that, I used my iPad to make the actual Pokemon. I made the body of the Pokemon oval-like in shape. You'll see why later. And now for the skull mask of the Pokemon, I had an idea when I was making it. I thought to myself, why won't I make the skull mask have eye holes on only one side? And I did that because I plan to, in the info, I plan to make it carve out its skull mask from a rock the moment it's born. And it's a newborn Pokemon, so its motor skills aren't really that good yet. And so maybe when it was making the mask, it made a mistake and scratched out one part of its mask, and then it gave up, and now its mask permanently has a hole on the side. I thought that added to the feel of it being a baby-like Pokemon, and it added to the Pokemon feel for me. So yeah, I also put fur on its hands to make it have protection because I plan to make the Pokemon live in the jungle, and in the jungle there are lots of biting bugs, and so maybe the fur would protect it from the bugs and parasites. And I also plan to make this Pokemon live in really tall trees and climb a lot, so maybe the fur would help its hands have a grip, and maybe when it fell down because it got tired when climbing trees, the fur would be used as a cushion or a mattress because there's lots of fur and the fur can protect it. I thought that was a good idea. So anyways, that's all I want to say about this Pokemon because I don't really have anything else to say. So yeah, let's get on to the Pokemon's info. Grilleaf, the Skull Mask Pokemon. It's a grass type with the ability Gluttony and Thick Fat, and it considers itself as a rival to Grookey. The skull-like mask on its face is handcrafted by itself one day after it is born from a special kind of rock. It never shows anyone its face, and its hands are always covered with fur. It loves to eat, and that's why its body shape is round. Its appetite rivals even Snorlax. Alright, so we're done with the first evolution, and now we're gonna move on to the second, last evolution. I drew its skull mask with 2 eye holes this time, and I put leaves around the skull mask. I drew a skull-like pattern on its chest, or body, I guess, and made wood-like clubs be on its hands. I colored it dark purple, and made the leaves on its skull mask quilted. You'll see why in the info. And yeah, I shaded it, and voila! Killerilla, the skull mask Pokemon. It's a dark grass type, and its abilities are Gluttony and Wilted Plants. Now, Wilted Plants is an ability I made, and basically what it does is that grass type moves that steal health from this Pokemon and give it to another Pokemon like Leech Seed or stuff like that doesn't work on it because it makes plants wilt, as you can see from the info. Thick bark covers its hands and the lower part of its arms. It uses the bark on its hands as a club-like weapon. The leaves that are on its skull mask are wilted, and it loves to climb trees and buildings. However, because it cannot use its arms to climb, it runs up the things it climbs using only its feet. It eats 1 ton of food per day and can jump off a tall building without getting hurt because it uses its arms as an impact absorber. When it gets angry, it can take out a thing the size of a small mountain with 1 punch. It can make plants grow around it anytime it wants, but strangely, the plants are always wilted and die fast. If it stands in an area with plants and it gets angry, all the plants around it will wilt. Alright, so yeah. I'm done with the first pseudo legendary, and something cool about this Pokemon is that I actually made it when I was a kid. Here's a picture of it in the old sketchpad I used to have, And this drawing, I made it about 3 years ago, I think. And as you can see, it's similar to the Pseudo Legendary I made. And I'm really happy I found my old sketchpad. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Let's move on to the second Pseudo Legendary. I wanted to base the second Pokemon I made on prehistoric rhinos, Glyptodons, which are prehistoric armadillos, and bones frozen in ice. When making the Pokemon, I gave it fur in its back, a rhino's head, ice horns and spikes, and a turtle-like bottom. I also made it look mismatched and kind of like Frankenstein, and you'll see why I did that right about now. Rhinosk, the Icy Spike's Pokemon. Its name comes from Rhino and Tusk. It's an ice type with the ability Icy Horns and Snow Cloak. So, I made up the first ability, and basically what Icy Horns does is that when it's snowing in a Pokemon battle, this Pokemon's defense increases. It is an artificially made Pokemon. Made from different kinds of fossil Pokemon, this may very well be one of the most powerful fossil Pokemon in existence. Scientists have figured out how to make it not need to be revived from a fossil, and so it is very common in the snowy mountains of the Earth core regions. Its horns, tusks, and spikes on its back are all made of ice. Alright, we're done with Rhinosk. Now let's move on to the second evolution of it. So for the second evolution, what I did is that I first drew the ice on its body. I made the horns more. I made the ice horns and tusks and spikes more. I gave it fur on its back. I gave it a serious face, and I put some armor plates on its shoulders and feet. I also gave it a dragon-like scaly bottom. I made it look a bit like Bowser from Mario, but honestly, I am pretty fine with that because it adds to this Pokemon's Frankenstein-y, fusion-y looking design. Yeah, so we're done. Introducing Legendaries, the fossil hybrid Pokemon. Its name comes from Rhino, Charge, and Ice, and it's an Ice Rock type with the ability Icy Horns and Snow Cloak. It is a powerful behemoth, capable of demolishing entire icebergs when it charges. The bones frozen inside the horns and spikes on its back are very old bones. The bones are about 1 million years old. It has a knack for finding fossils frozen in ice. The snow that covers its back serves as a temperature regulator, and because of that, it is always cold. The fur on its back is tough enough to survive a fireball being thrown at it. That's the end of this video, guys, and if you liked the video, please consider subscribing and liking because it's free and it would help me out a lot. If you want to help me make Pokemon for this region, comment down below your ideas. And before I end this video, I have one last thing to say. I recently just made an Instagram account and I would appreciate it a lot if you followed me on Instagram. So yeah, that's all I have to say for this video. Bye.